Good evening, Nigeria. There is a political storm gathering in Kwara State right now, and what is happening there is not just a local issue. It is a reflection of something much bigger that has been simmering across Nigeria for years. The Yoruba Council of Elders worldwide has publicly accused President Bola Tinubu of betraying Yoruba people by allowing what they call the systematic takeover of ancestral lands in Kwara State for cattle ranching, and they are saying these lands are being handed over to Fulani extremists. This is not just about cattle or ranching. It touches on some of the deepest fractures in Nigerian society today: land ownership, ethnic identity, resource control, and the growing frustration many communities feel when they believe their voices are not being heard by those in power. The Yoruba Council of Elders released a strong statement today condemning the establishment of large-scale cattle ranches in Kwara State, claiming that indigenous Yoruba communities are being displaced from their ancestral lands without proper consultation or compensation. According to the elders, the federal government, working alongside the Kwara state government under Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak, has been allocating vast stretches of land for these ranches, and local farmers are watching their farms and heritage being taken away. The elders are calling this a deliberate attempt to Fulanize Yoruba territory, and they are demanding that President Tinubu, who is himself Yoruba, step in immediately to protect his own people. To understand why this accusation is so explosive, we need to look at the broader context. Farmer-herder conflicts have claimed thousands of lives and displaced entire communities across Nigeria for the past decade. These clashes have always been more than just cattle. They are about land, resources, identity, and power. The federal government has been promoting ranching as the solution, arguing that confining cattle to designated areas will reduce conflicts and protect farmlands. In theory, that sounds reasonable, but what the Yoruba elders are now saying is that the implementation of this policy in Kwara is not solving the problem. It is creating a new one where indigenous people are being forced off their lands in the name of progress. This situation speaks to a much deeper issue that affects millions of Nigerians: the question of who controls land and who gets to decide how it is used. In many parts of Nigeria, land ownership is tied to identity, history, and survival. When communities feel that their land is being taken without their consent, it is not just an economic issue, it becomes an existential threat. This is why accusations like the one from the Yoruba Council carry so much weight. They are tapping into fears that have been building for years, fears that some ethnic groups are being prioritized over others, that local voices do not matter in national decision-making, and that ordinary people are paying the price for policies they never agreed to. If you are finding this analysis helpful and you want more content that breaks down Nigerian politics without the noise, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now, because we are committed to bringing you stories that matter. And please like this video so more Nigerians can see what is really happening. What makes this even more complicated is the political dimension. President Tinubu is Yoruba, and the fact that Yoruba elders are now accusing a Yoruba president of abandoning his own people tells you just how serious this has become. It raises questions of loyalty, representation, and whether ethnic identity still matters in Nigerian politics, or whether power and political alliances have become more important. Governor Abdulrazak is also being accused of prioritizing federal relationships over the welfare of his own people, and this is the kind of political calculation that can backfire spectacularly. Beyond the politics, there is a human cost to all of this. If what the Yoruba elders are saying is true, then real families are being displaced, real farmlands are being lost, and real livelihoods are being destroyed. These are not abstract policy debates, these are people's lives, and when communities feel that they have no say in decisions that affect their future, that is when tensions escalate, conflicts emerge, and trust in government collapses.
The Yoruba Council is demanding transparency, dialogue, and respect for indigenous land rights. They want the federal government to explain the land allocation process, compensate anyone who has been displaced, and ensure that ranching policies do not become tools for ethnic domination. How the government responds will tell us a lot about whether it is serious about unity, justice, and inclusive development. So, what does this mean for the average Nigerian? It means that the decisions being made in Abuja and state capitals have real consequences for ordinary people. It also means that we need to ask harder questions about the policies our leaders are implementing, who benefits, who loses, and whether the people most affected are even being consulted. Drop your thoughts in the comments, because when land and identity collide with politics and power, where should the line be drawn, and who gets to draw it?